Well, good morning, everyone, and it's another glorious day here in Bronie's world. I have my absolutely most dearest, wonderful friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, with us today. And with Remembrance Day here in Australia on the 11th of the 11th, 2024, and in the US, it will be Veterans Day. I thought today we would concentrate on some help we can give our military men and women and their families, particularly around the one thing that seems to affect more and more of them these days, and that's PTSD, which stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. And Doc always talks about the good foods and the bad foods. So how the diet affects this, and how our nutritional program can also help with those who are suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder. So, Doc, with no further ado, I'm going to hand it over. And Doc wants to talk about the beer.
Thank you so much for the kind words and all the blessings, and thanks to the military personnel and veterans in Australia. I retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, so I'm a veteran too, so I appreciate all the good.
A few years ago, right?
What?
A few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Well, I must admit, many years ago, when I was still a teenager, I was actually in the Army Reserves for a very, very short time until health issues thought, yeah, I think you better not be here anymore. So
Okay.
Started when they discovered I had fibromyalgia, to be honest. So that's interesting.
One of the things that happens during Veterans Day, and what do you call it there in Australia?
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance Day. Okay, that's a very nice name.
It is, because we're remembering them, aren't we?
Yeah, and giving them blessings for all the good things they did to help defend the people of their country and the people of the world. So we cannot thank your veteran enough any more than we can thank our veterans enough. So thank you.
That's exactly right. And I have a bit of another connection. My grandfather was in both World War I and II. So
veterans are veterans, regardless of which war they
exactly
are defended in. And so basically, I want to start out that there's going to be all kinds of celebrations. There's all going to be discounts in the bars, and there's going to be discounts in the stores and restaurants, and there's going to be big services in churches and things. And so one of the things I want to do is remind everybody that human beings have the capacity to live well beyond 100. If you take care of yourself, stay away from the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no bananas, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Carbonated drinks neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot digest food and absorb minerals. So all those things, if you do that, you're going to be adding years to your life, okay? And you'll save a lot of money.
Quality years.
Now, one of my favorite subjects, because I'm a veterinarian, I'm a pathologist, I have a degree in agriculture, I'm a physician, and I've done over 30,000 autopsies, okay? And so it's one of those things where everything's published, so you can look it up and see if I'm lying or telling the truth here, okay? And
well, you have a book in the Smithsonian as well, don't you? So and you have that book in the Smithsonian of your first about 3,000 or so.
That was the second book I did. It was 10 years of research, okay, on diseases that were thought to be genetic. Turns out that they're all just simple nutritional deficiency diseases. That book's in our Smithsonian Institute, listed as a national treasure. I was so proud of that. Okay. Okay. So
and that's a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you. And now I want to talk about something that's going to happen here every day for the next couple of days and maybe even a week or so. And that's the celebration. There's going to be a lot of beer drinking going on. Okay.
Yes.
And if somebody out there knows what the name of this famous British beer is, I'd appreciate if they'd send you an email or call in or something, tell us what's the name of that British beer. I forgot it. But anyway, what's the name of your top beer in Australia?
Well, one of the most famous ones around the world is Foster's. and Colton
Foster's.
beer. Yeah, Foster's. Colton's. We have Tui's. We have 4X. And I'm not a beer drinker, so for me
Yeah,
to know
well,
those ones.
ours is Budweiser. Our famous beer is Budweiser. Okay. And so the reason why I'm asking that is there's gonna be a lot of beer drinking going on, celebrations, and veterans seeing their fellow veterans they haven't seen for years and so forth. So there's a lot of partying going on. And that's okay. Now, there is one little piece that people have to watch out for, because one of the things that goes along with this crazy thing that people eat when they're drinking beer, there's something that's very commonly consumed when they're drinking beer, is peanuts. The bartenders give them peanuts for free. Oh, you come and drink beer at my place, I'll give you free peanuts to eat. And boy, they go every Friday night and every Saturday night, and they'll have a couple of beers and eat their peanuts and everything. But the problem is, peanuts, when they're grown, in a garden or in the soil or on the farm, they're commonly infested with a fungus called Aspergillus flavus. Aspergillus flavus produces a toxin called aflatoxin, which causes a problem. Okay, this only happens with peanuts because they grow in the soil, and this fungus, Aspergillus flavus, loves the soil, and when the peanuts are growing there, and so they harvest the peanuts, the fungus is already in the peanuts, okay? They can shell them, throw the shells away, the fungus is still in the peanuts. So what? Well, peanuts and this Aspergillus flavus and the aflatoxin produce liver cirrhosis and liver cancer. Do you have liver cancer in Australia?
That's quite big. Oh, yes, it's quite big here.
It's quite common, in the United States. Okay.
Too common.
And there's a beer in England. I forget the name of that one. It's a famous beer. Okay.
Yeah,
It might come to me later.
No idea. I suppose if I was a beer drinker, I'd probably know, but
yeah, it begins with a C. Okay. Begins with a C. Okay. I keep wanting to say Collins, but it's not Collins. It's close to that, but it's not Collins. Anyway, and so I want people, when they go to drink their beer for their celebrations and the Recognition Day and the Veterans Day and so forth, I want them to eat almonds, walnuts, and let's see here, cashews. What's the common thing that makes almonds, walnuts, and cashews safe?
They grow on trees.
They grow on trees. They don't get the fungus Aspergillus flavus. And so people who eat almonds, walnuts, and cashews with their beer are not going to get liver cirrhosis and liver cancer. But if you eat peanuts, you have a high risk of that. And this is in beer drinking countries and cities and towns. It's one of those things where big factories and military facilities and stuff, every Friday night and Saturday night, there's a lot of beer drinking going on. And that's why they get the liver cirrhosis, liver cancer. It's that fungus in there, okay? And so I don't want any peanuts, but if you have any almonds or walnuts or cashews, I'll take them. If they don't have them, say, whip out your little bottle. Okay, I brought my own walnuts, okay? Because I'm not gonna eat any more peanuts, okay? And this is, it gives kids problems when the kids are eating peanuts. Well, the reason why I want to remember the name of that English beer, there's a lady just a couple of weeks ago turned 105. She'd been drinking that beer every day for 90 years. She just turned 105.
Would it be Guinness or Cooper's?
I'm sorry?
Would it be Guinness? But I know that.
Guinness, there you go, Guinness. Guinness, that's it, Guinness. Okay. And she's been drinking Guinness.
And you eventually did come to me.
Thank you. Been drinking Guinness for 90 years, every lunchtime for 90 years. She just turned 105. She's doing great. She has all kinds of things she does for the community. And it's one of those things, there's big celebrations for her because she just turned 105. Now, you have to appreciate she didn't eat peanuts. That's why she lived 105 drinking that beer. Okay. And so it's one of those things where I think she ate more fruit and that sort of stuff is what I got from reading her story. And she continues to eat fruit as opposed to eating peanuts and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where once you know this is published, this is unimpeachable evidence. And yet doctors don't tell their patients. I know it's Friday night. The holidays are coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Holidays are coming up. You can drink your beer, but don't, okay? Don't eat your peanuts, okay? Don't eat peanuts. Go ahead and have your almonds, your walnuts, your cashews, okay, with your beer, and you'll be safe.
Macadamias are one of my favorites.
Macadamias, yes, they're safe because they don't grow in the soil. Are they?
No,
okay.
They grow on trees.
There you go. So the tree nuts, regardless of what they are, the tree nuts are safer than eating peanuts anytime. And little kids, they like to eat peanuts and watch TV, and they get peanuts at the movies and peanuts when they're at soccer games and basketball games, that kind of stuff, hockey games, they get peanuts. Don't let them do it, okay? If they don't have the tree nuts, bring your own, and you'll add many healthy years to your life. I get very excited about this because we've got to take care of our veterans. Now, so many diseases occur from nutritional deficiencies. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, let's see here, multiple sclerosis, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, okay, cervical spondylosis, carpal tunnel syndrome, Bell's palsy. All these things are caused, okay, by nutritional deficiencies. So we have two things we want you to do. Number one, get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Don't make an exception. Say, well, it's a holiday, I'll do it. No, don't do it once, okay? You'll have many healthy years to your life. Then, in addition to getting rid of all the bad stuff, you need to take our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has all 90 essential nutrients that humans require, which you cannot get from your food. You cannot get the 90 essential nutrients by just going to the grocery store and buying food, okay? Plants only need 3 minerals. We need 60. We need 60 minerals. Plants only need 3. Okay, well, how do people get, when people lived a long time ago in the land flowing with milk and honey, how did they live so long? Lived to be 150, 200, 300. How'd that happen? Well, that's because they lived usually at the base of a mountain or where a big mountain river flooded the valley. Okay, and when the water would return to the river, what did it leave behind? Silt, mud, dust, dirt. Okay, and that was coming down from the mountains. And this is in the old Bible, 2,000 years ago. They wrote about the land flowing with milk and honey. Everybody's heard about the land flowing with milk and honey. It's true. Okay, and people who live there commonly live to be well beyond 100, 120, 130. 150, 200, because they're getting the minerals from the mountains. And they thought it was milk because from a half a mile away, they're looking at that mountain and the stream with all this rock dust in it on the top of the mountains and the glaciers grinding up those rocks, turned that stream white, and it looks like milk coming down the side of that mountain. And why the land flowing with milk and honey? Well, all those minerals coming down into the valley, there's lots of flowers, more bees, more honey. The land flowing with milk and honey. They didn't make the association, okay, with the nutrition at all, okay, but they knew that there were places on earth where people lived a long time. Now, this went on for 200,000 years, and all the cavemen and all that kind of stuff, because they were using the wood ashes and coal ashes from their heating fires and their cooking fires and their fighting fires and all that kind of stuff. They were using those ashes as something they could put in their food as a taste enhancer, okay, a spice. They also could put it in their gardens, and their carrots and their potatoes and their corn and their beans would suck up those minerals, okay? And they might be getting 50 minerals or 75 minerals or 100 minerals or 200 minerals. And so when you ate that food, you're getting all those minerals. Now, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, in New York City, Thomas Edison flipped a switch on electricity. In 6 months' time, everybody in New York started getting sick. Everybody in the world started getting sick. Why? Because there was no more wood ashes to throw in the gardens that the plants could suck up. And suddenly now they had to have hospitals. They had to have health insurance. Now, I have a degree in agriculture. I have a degree in veterinary medicine. I am a pathologist. I had 3 big studies on pathology, okay, and did over 30,000 autopsies. I'm a physician, okay. I have all those degrees and all those studies and everything. And so what I learned was that people, the birth defect, carpal tunnel syndrome, you've heard of carpal tunnel syndrome in kids a long time ago, terrible. That was due to a deficiency of nutrients, wasn't genetic as doctors thought. The muscular dystrophy was due to a deficiency, not due to a genetic thing. We gave the information to Jerry Lewis, who was raising money, to find research to find the cause. And they fired Jerry Lewis, shut down all his telethons, and put a gag order on him so he couldn't tell the world that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. And then I found the cause of SID, sudden death syndrome. You've heard of sudden death syndrome, SIDS.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I found the cause of that. Okay. And it's, what should I say? Every time I would say something in the press, on TV, the radio, or a big meeting, the let's see here, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, would sue me. And I'd say it again. They'd sue me again. They sued me 8 times, and I sued them back 8 times in federal court. And they finally gave up and said, "Oh, this Wallach's not going to give up, so just let them go." So, and within 6 months, after I got this information out there to the general public, sudden death syndrome disappeared. You don't hear about sudden death syndrome anymore because I forced all the manufacturers of baby formulas to put all these nutrients in there, not just to put milk in a bottle and say this is baby formula. Can't put cow's milk in there. If the mother's not taking vitamins and minerals, and she's breast milk, not going to have a lot of nutrition in it if she's not taking vitamins and minerals. So we needed to get I think it took 3 months, and suddenly now SID, sudden death syndrome, disappeared. Okay.
Yeah.
And now the newest one that I've gotten rid of, I've gotten rid of so many, about 50 of them, is metabolic syndrome, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. Have you heard about metabolic syndrome?
Yes.
I'll tell you.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, that's a nutritional deficiency. It started again when they went to well, they had on their, what do you call it, their rock things where people would write notes on their rocks and stuff like that. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah. They do that here too.
Going back to 200,000 years ago. And then it's in the old Bible. Okay, about people living to be 100, 150, 200, 300, 400, 500. It's in the old Bible.
Okay.
Now, today, the oldest people are in Pakistan. Of all places in Pakistan, they're the Hunza tribes. They live in the Himalayan mountains, and they have all these minerals in the mountains. And their average lifespan is 120. Many live to be 125, 130, 150, and so forth. Okay. Yeah. Pakistan, but they're getting all those.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be in war all the time. So obviously, like you said, it's up in the Himalayan mountains.
They're getting the minerals from the mountains, and that's why they live so long. And of course, doctors are saying this is all genetic and blah, 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 blah. They're wrong. They're a million miles off. Okay. And so we've come up with I think it's 25 best-selling books that covers over, I think it's 600 different diseases that we have found preventions and cures for, which doctors had called genetic. And doctors are very good about treating symptoms. You're still going to die from the disease early. Okay, they treat the symptoms. They cannot say, well, this is a genetic thing. We can, we can get rid of your pain, we can get rid of your dizziness, we get rid of the ring in your ears, but not much we can do. Okay, and then we have the book, It's All in Your Head. We have the book, The Metabolic Syndrome. It's All in Your Head on page 6 is my favorite picture.
I have that one sitting right here.
Okay, page 6.
I don't have the updated one though. Yeah.
Top picture is a normal skull, so 1/4 of an inch thick. The bottom one's an abnormal skull, has osteoporosis of the skull, it's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. You go to page 7, it shows a picture of one side of the brain, half the brain. It shows the 12 pairs of cranial nerves that come out through the skull from the brain out to the rest of the body, and it shows what organ, what location those nerves are going to, and what disease you get. And then there's 12 chapters in this book. There's 12 chapters in this book which tell you what you need to do to get rid of that problem. Okay, and this is it's all in your head. And of course, there's things that go on in your spinal cord because it's getting crushed also by osteoporosis of the skull that's coming out of the back of the skull. And we came up with a CD. Okay, the CD covers this issue. Okay, what's going on in the spinal cord, and we can get rid of these 600 different diseases. Okay, with supplementation. Very exciting. And then
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri wants to help you out.
Yeah, Siri's trying to help me out here. Okay. And then we have what we call I-26. We have it in chewables, which are little like gummy wafers that are a lot of fun to eat. Okay.
Yeah, my grandkids love having those. They love it when
they come in French vanilla and banana coconut. Banana coconuts are best-selling product. Okay. And so I'm going to have some here in a minute. And
the vanilla ones, the French vanilla one's my favorite.
Which ones?
The French vanilla flavored
Oh,
ones.
French vanilla, that's my favorite too. Okay, that's what this is, French vanilla. Okay. And so when you have problems, okay, because you've been eating all the bad stuff and not eating the good stuff, there's over 50 different diseases that are caused, in the brain and spinal cord. One of which is Alzheimer's disease. Another one is Parkinson's disease. You've heard of Parkinson's disease, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very
those two things you mentioned are huge here in Australia at the moment. I'm hearing people daily who are getting either Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or both.
Yeah, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you have both. Multiple sclerosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, Huntington's, chorea, frontotemporal dementia, Charcot-Marie-Tooth, Bell's palsy, cervical spondylosis, carpal tunnel syndrome. And there's like 25 more of these diseases that occur in the brain and spinal cord because myelin, the white matter of the brain, is going away, and 85% of the myelin in the brain is cholesterol.
Yes.
And what food does doctors tell you to stop eating? Cholesterol. They give you drugs to get rid of cholesterol out of your body.
Yes, I had actually a really big discussion with a lady. She would be probably in her 80s on that very thing yesterday. And, and her cholesterol level is at a really good level, but her specialists wanted to drop it even further. And I go, no. And
go back
thankfully,
up.
Thankfully, she's got a GP who is thinking the same, that doesn't want to drop it more than it is already. It's 4.6.
Yeah. Scrambled eggs in butter. Scrambled eggs in butter, no margarine. And again, you can actually get also.
Tell us, Doc. Just, you mentioned margarine there.
No margarine.
Can you? I know. Can you explain to people why margarine is bad?
Yes, because it actually causes terrible, terrible damage to all tissues, including especially the lining of the arteries. Most of the people who get plugged arteries are eating margarine instead of butter. Okay.
Mm.
No margarine, no margarine, no margarine whatsoever. Okay. And then it's one of those things where you have to appreciate that there's also another disease, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, those two, and all these brain diseases. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about is sex hormones. Okay, the girly stuff, female hormones, estrogen, 95% of that is cholesterol.
Cholesterol.
95% of testosterone for males is cholesterol. You take away cholesterol, and then the man in the house is going to sit there and watch TV all day and not chase a woman anymore. And the woman's not going to care because she not interested in sex because she doesn't have any hormones. So we came up with a product for the female. We call it Zerafem. Okay, she can take 2 or 3 of those twice a day and stay away from all of the bad stuff. Okay, including margarine and fried foods and those kinds of things. Eat scrambled eggs and butter, not margarine. And then the guy we call Zeratest, Xeratest. Take 3 of those twice a day. I do that. I'm 85 years old. Most people think I'm in my 50s. They say, come on, Wallach, you can't be 85 years old. Okay. So it's one of those things where we know the answers, we have the solutions and the preventions, and we came up with a quick, thing that people can use, and we're selling quite a few of them in Australia. They're called a flip chart. You ever heard of a flip chart? You sit at a table and you flip the chart and you're talking about what's going on that page. Well, our flip chart is like 72 pages, and this is neurological associated diseases. These are all caused by cholesterol deficiency. These are all caused by not having the banana coconut and the French vanilla, the chewables. Now, my favorite story when it comes to Parkinson's disease is a 75-year-old woman who had Parkinson's disease and had been going downhill for 10 years. And the doctors, who is a professional neurologist and taught at the university medical school, taught neurology, so an expert, told her family that, her time was here. She could die tonight, in her bed, but she's not going to live any more than a couple of days or a week or so. Okay. On page 27, okay, the flip chart is her story. And her name is Madeline O. Madeline O. We didn't put her whole last name on, just the first letter of her last name, because we would put her whole last name on there. She'd have 1,000 new people on her front door every day. Because you get rid of Parkinson's disease, right? Yeah. And so the right-hand side of the page, she, as we were treating her, sent us like letters almost every day. So we took 4 pages out of her letters, and we put yellow highlights. And the other half of the page, the left side of the page, are doctors who were treating her who couldn't believe that she kept getting no signs of the disease anymore. Okay. And that's because we came up with the idea of giving her the 90 essential nutrients, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and give her all the bad foods and make sure she's getting plenty of the I-26. We made the I-26 for her. Okay. And to make a long story short, in 2.5 months, she goes in for her regular, her regular medical exam. Yeah, her regular medical exam, which she would do like every 2.5 months or every quarter kind of thing. And the doctor said, "Oh, there must be something wrong here. All these tests are normal. And we must have got somebody else's data. So come back tomorrow, we'll run some more tests." She came back tomorrow, they're still all perfectly normal. Freaked the doctor out. And now that was like 3 years ago, and she's running around the world telling people her story. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people now who are doing the thing for Parkinson's disease and getting rid of it in weeks and months. It's like a crazy thing, but we've done it. Okay, we're so very, very proud of that. And it's one of those things. We have famous movie stars. We have famous professional athletes, university athletes. We have famous people who are wealthy business people. Okay, all these famous people who are near death because they were missing something, and we got them on these programs, brought them back, and they tell their story in the last 10, 15 pages of the flip chart. Okay, they're telling their story, how they got arthritis, osteoporosis, how they got all these things, okay, and how taking these supplements, which they name, okay, which supplements they took for which diseases, okay, and it's again, it's one of those things where you cannot go wrong, okay.
Can't supplement a bad diet.
That's correct. And so you have to have a good diet plus the supplements, and you'll add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. Now that's pretty good. A doctor cannot guarantee you that. Okay, but I can tell you that this is what you're going to see. Just think of the Hunzas in Pakistan. Think of the land flowing with milk and honey. They didn't know why those locations where people live so long, but they knew there was something special there. Okay, and the land flowing with milk and honey was the glaciers up in the mountains grinding up the rocks into a white dust. The white dust got into the streams coming down the side of the mountain, looked like milk coming down the side of the mountain. And then because of all the extra minerals, more flowers, more bees, more honey. And so that's why it was the land flowing with milk and honey. Now, there are some places where the land flowing with milk and honey only have 3 minerals there. The plants only need 3 minerals. So Dr. Milan and I, we went to 7 different places, okay, that say they have the land flowing with milk and honey. So we went to 7 of these places, got analyses from the local agricultural universities, okay, soil analyses from those areas. And guess what? There's only 3 or 4 that have all 90 essential minerals, okay?
Wow.
There's some of them that's only, but there's still a glacial milk because it looks white. It comes down the side of the mountains. It's grinding up the rocks, but there's only 3 minerals in those particular rocks. It's not good enough to add 25 to 50 years to your life. You have to get the ones that have at least 75 minerals in it. And so we have contracts with those. Nobody else can buy a truckload of that stuff. They can come by and buy 1 bottle, but they can't buy a truckload and compete with us. Okay? So.
Yeah, so you want the best, you've got to get the best.
And you have.
And if you want the best results, you've got to get the best. But,
there you go. And you have. You have numbers. You have numbers that people can call, right? Why don't you give out your numbers?
Yeah, well, they can call me on 0407 104 101, or they can contact me via YouTube or Facebook. They can contact me any which way they like through those 3 contact numbers at this point, or LinkedIn, Linktree. I have a link there as well, or LinkedIn. So there's a few different ways people can contact me. Yeah, so which is awesome.
Okay.
So, or if they're out of Australia, they put the +61 in front of my number. So, so Doc, so getting back to our veterans, and the post-traumatic stress syndrome. So if they follow the good food, bad food list, get off all the bad foods, and I would say, the I-26, and I would suggest also the Healthy Body, Brain and Heart Pack. I'm just going on, look, one of our foster children had, or most foster kids actually have post-traumatic stress syndrome as well, disorder.
Here's a question. What's the name of that beer from England again?
I believe that the one that the lady was talking about is Guinness. It's
Guinness,
actually
that's it.
Irish. I think it's an Irish beer, actually.
Yeah, Guinness. Okay, now the reason why I ask about that is the reason why she didn't die earlier was because of the water they made the beer from.
All right.
I guarantee you there's minerals in that water.
Mm,
Okay.
interesting. Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
that's
I
why
think
that's why the beer, you know,
Irish.
yeah, that's why the aspergillus in the soil didn't get her. Okay. Because she
Mm,
was getting, well, there she is, she's drinking beer and she didn't get liver cancer. No, that's because she was getting the minerals that were in the area where the brewery was, okay,
yeah,
to make the beer.
exactly right. Which is, I think, believe is Ireland. But anyway, there we go. But it's pretty much around the world. You can get Guinness. It's very
Yes.
strong beer, I believe.
Yeah, they sell Guinness here in the United States,
Mm,
and I'll
yeah.
have to check and see if they got some Guinness from the county that she came from.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but anyway, so for our veterans, look, guys, or it doesn't matter who you are, but like I said, even foster kids, out of home care kids suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder quite a lot. So you don't have to just go to war. So you have your I-26, your healthy body, brain, and heart pack, and try our hydration sticks as well, because that they work a treat as well.
Yeah, when you're talking about anything going on with the brain and spinal cord, you're talking about all kinds of stuff. Again,
Mm.
there's like I think 50 different diseases you get in the brain, and one of them will be prominent, and that's the one the doctors diagnose.
Yeah.
Okay? And so it's one of those things where you take the 90 essential nutrients. I mean, I've been taking the I-26 since we made it about, I don't know, I think like 6 years ago. I take 3 twice a day of the French vanilla. And of course, we have the banana coconut, which is very popular. We also have the powder. Some people like to throw that in their drink. Okay, they're minerals. Okay, or the rebound, which is our sports drink for
It comes in
energy.
a capsule as well. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, we made rebound for Theo Ratliff, our basic basketball player. And
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Which is another great energy drink that we have. The rebounds is a really good
yeah,
energy drink. It's one of a couple that we have. We have a few. Electrofuel is also a good energy drink. So, you find the one that suits your taste. But if you're like me, I like to mix and match. Mix and match gives you even more.
there you go.
Like rebound and the electrofuel. Woohoo! Especially if you're really doing, like I did, the Ocean to Outback walk for the Royal Flying Doctors in October. So having that extra energy when I'm out walking was really good. So yeah, it was pretty good. Next year I might actually go from the ocean to the outback. Got a few things in plan there. Well, Doc, I should let you go, I guess, because we've been there.
Do we have any callers? Do we have any callers or no?
No, we don't. This is just our beautiful recording that we do that we're going to put up for
Okay.
our
We'll give
veterans.
everybody our blessings, especially this weekend. We want to give the military their due because we
Yeah.
can't thank them enough for their sacrifices and all the things they did, including the ones that didn't make it back. We need to thank them all. And thank you so much for all you do to pass on the information. And it wouldn't hurt to get some of that extra, the I-26, but everybody should be taking at least 2 or 3 twice a day, the I-26.
The
Okay.
chewables at least anyway.
It goes with the 90. It's not to go by themselves. It goes with the 90.
It does. It does. You cannot do these things without the 90. The 90 essential nutrients, which is our healthy body pack. Start with that and you put your I-26. But like I said, I like the healthy body, brain and heart pack the best personally. And it's not just our veterans, it's their families, because their families suffer a lot too. So we thank the families for the things they have to put up with, because like
well, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack was our first one. The Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack was our first one. It was actually our Healthy Start Pack, which had the 90 essential nutrients in it. And then when Theo Ratliff, the basketball player, had all these things going on with his cartilage in his knees and his hips and his shoulders, they took his job away from him as a successful basketball player, I came up with a glucogel, which is a
Which is
homemade,
brilliant.
yeah, a homemade where you would boil bone broth. This
Yeah.
glucogel replaced bone broth. We added it to the Healthy Start Pack, and it became the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. That's the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It was a Healthy Start Pack and the glucogel. Okay.
Yeah. The glucogel is a must, and good for those who have osteoporosis as well.
Oh yeah, because you cannot lay down minerals in your bones unless you have healthy bone matrix. Okay. And the glucogel will help make bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, arteries, skin, anything that has connective tissue in it, you want the glucogel.
Well, there you go. That's why I've got good skin.
Okay, well, bless you. God bless you and all your good things. And say hello and give some high fives to your veterans for me.
I'll
We
do.
them and respect them. I met a lot of them when I was there in Australia over the years. So,
Because you served in Australia for a little while, didn't you?
yes, I spent quite a bit of time in Australia.
Yeah. So you're an honorary Australian. Well, okay. So as I ask you all nicely here in Bronie's world, to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when we are helping our veterans and their families to get their nutrients and minerals and
God bless.
Get through those tough times, because we all have them, then you too will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. God bless you all. Catch you again tomorrow here in Bronie's world. And thank you, Doc, for your time. I appreciate it. And as we all do. God bless you. And thank you for your service as well.
God bless you, and God bless Australians and New Zealanders. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.